That's rough, but it's doable. So we're playing Zenyatta. You see, I play on console since 2007. I'm only 13. I still not that good, but I'm better than the majority. well, your rank wouldn't agree with that. At least not for console. So, what is it? High gold to low plat is considered the average of the bell curve for Overwatch. So it's like, oh, hang on. Bell curve goes something like this for Overwatch. Actually, it's more like this. You got your like bronze players, silver, and then actually like silver and then gold is like average. Gold to plat, somewhere in this range, and then you've got a abnormally high peak of diamond players, because there's a bunch of neglected accounts that have either decayed from higher ranks or have just been sort of left there. And then above that, the bell curve, obviously. Same thing, other side. But the majority of players are all, the average player base is gold to plat. I wasn't the one. No, my son, that wasn't me. Oh, I tried Overwatch on PS4. It was the most painful thing I've ever experienced. Well, if you start out on PC and then you try it on PS4, then yeah, it makes sense. Let's all just agree that console is very limiting. I think everybody already agreed on that. 2456. Oh, okay, so that's a little bit higher. Okay, so that's closer to plat. So nice. So, tip of the average was the cutoff for a 50% dial last time Blizzard revealed it. Also, Womp, you are talking about to the wrong person. Critter was claiming better than average. Oh, okay. Well, no worries. No worries. I'm not trying to call anybody shit here. I'm not giving anyone any problems. Fact is, this guy sent in a VOD. He wants help. He wants to get better. That right there means he's better than 99% of the player base of Overwatch, just because he's actively trying to get better. Not a lot of people do that. A lot of people just kind of fuck around and then get pissed off and blame their team and, you know, oh, it must be my team, Omega lol. So this guy's trying to get better, and that's what's important. Really isn't the same, but whatever. I came from console to PC, never touched my console again. Understandable. Fact is, I have really bad lag, awful with aiming, but I try my best. Well, you're also playing, keep in mind you're playing Zenyatta, which is very aim-dependent hero. It is a projectile, so it's kind of like playing Hanzo. So if you can manage to get good at Hanzo on console, you definitely get good at Zenyatta on console. So what do we, let me see what your comp is first before I start talking Zenyatta. Is there a moment where you press tab, or can we just see the comp? Here we go. Why are you getting so defensive about consoles? I don't think is anybody getting defensive? I don't think anybody's getting defensive. Chill out, chat. Shit, it was there. Let's see what the last guy picks. Okay. Oh, so Zarya, Orisa, Torbjorn, Ana, Junkrat, Zen. Huh. Okay. So here's what I'd be thinking. You got the Orisa shield. He's probably going to set up on that first corner of, hey, Womp, what's happening, Terminus? How you doing? Probably going to set up on that. Let's see. Let me draw it. So you got the pillars, the choke, where you come in. There's a door here. There's... Fuck, I'm not even going to draw it. We're just going to go to it. But probably going to set up on that top right. Torbjorn's probably going to set up there as well. Ana, Junkrat also probably going to set up there. Zarya, Zarya's not the best pick with an Orisa. A good Zarya can make it work, but ideally you would run like a Diva or a Roadhog. If they decide to run a Pharah, you don't really have anything to deal with that. except for Ana and maybe your Discord. Console's a lot more learning the PC. That's not even a debatable subject. Is anybody debating it? I don't know. Let's not worry about the console war versus PC topic, chat. I think everybody already agrees on the subject. I freak out when people pick Orisa sometimes. Why? Orisa's a fantastic pick. In fact, Orisa First Point Temple of Anubis is a great pick. Of the two comps that I would recommend running on First Point Temple of Anubis, even Second Point, would probably be Orisa Diva, Orisa Hog, or a dive where you do like a counter dive onto the enemy team as they're pushing the point or pushing your backline. Literally, most of my console games 30 FPS, fucking slideshow. I can't even do 6 FPS on a controller. It's absolute dog shit for FPS. I mean, that's not news. Everybody knew that, bud. Everybody knew that. That's not news. That's yeah. But okay. So as Zenyatta, you're gonna be wanting to get frequent Discord orbs out, putting out lots of damage, playing long sight lines, and trying to keep your Ana alive when she gets dove. So let's see how that goes. Let's skip forward. I want to see where your team sits up here. So typically there's 3 different places that teams like to set up here. There's right here out looking at choke, which is good, especially if you're running the Rista Shield and you have somewhat relative safety in the zone. There's the Treehouse model, which is the same thing, basically the same comp, except you initially run Symmetra so you can teleport everybody onto the high ground above the point. And then there's Counter Dive, where your tanks will be playing on this little perch that's right here. Maybe someone standing on top of the ledge right here. Idea being, so you got, if you're running the Orisa comp on either here or up on the high ground, you stand behind the Orisa shield, you deal a lot of damage as the enemy team try to push in and poke. If they're running dive, Junkrat will throw down a trap behind the shield so that one of the dive tanks dive onto the trap, they get deleted, and then the rest of the team cleans up. Same thing happens in Treehouse comp, except maybe you would have a Widow or something, but on console I imagine there's less people running those higher skill heroes. And then if you're doing the dive comp, you would have Winston and Diva holding these high ground positions and scouting, waiting for the enemy team come in. If they're doing dive, they'll look for your backline, which will usually be above the point somewhere or in these back stairs, and they'll go for those dives, and then you'll follow up and counter dive. Same thing if they run like a Ryan Zar and they kind of come this route. You wait until they engage the point, and then you again counter dive. Nope, tons of Widows on console. Really? That's interesting. That's interesting because of the aim assist. I imagine that screws up a lot of people. Huh, interesting. Okay, so there's a lot of Widows consoles give you aim assist. Yeah, but the thing is, aim assist kind of sucks. I don't know. Maybe it's easier with the controller on console. I don't know. Most there's a inconsistency of accuracy when you're using aim assist. And unless it's like super strong, like it used to be in remember the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 days where you could do the what's it called? The quick scopes. You just scope in real quick, and then aim assist would kind of just like move your mouse on top of the head of someone's or on top of your target, and it was fantastic. The good old days. But okay. So I imagine your Torb set up a turret here, or maybe he's going for early ult charge. I would want you behind your Orisa, behind your shield. If they manage to run a Widow here, she might pick you off pretty easily. If they have dive tanks, you don't have dive tanks. You have Orisa and a Zarya. So if they decide to dive you, you're kind of going to be stuffed into this back room here behind you, which isn't going to go well. Yep, so Widow Soldier, McCree translate very poorly to PC, whereas other heroes are a bit more forgiving. True. I mean, that's why like I said earlier, that's why I gave that Reinhardt main that was 3,800 on console, I gave him benefit of the doubt, because it doesn't require high mechanical skill on a controller to play a good Rein. It does require game sense, and that's something you can develop on console, and it won't be, you know, one of those things that boost you just because you're playing on console. You know what I mean? I mean, there's still a lower skill ceiling, but it does require some game sense to play that hero. But yeah, oh good. Rotate a little bit here. Good that you have the orb on someone. You should always have your orb on someone and always be looking to put Discord on someone. But okay, first mistake, like I said before, if they're running a Widow, she hooks up here, she hooks over to the side, headshots you, bam, you're dead. You're very much out in the open. She's going to pop up out of nowhere really, really fast, scoped in, ready to shoot you in the head. A good Widow will delete you immediately. And to top it off, you're standing still. Let's never stand still. Always be like strafing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Anything. Like if you're trying to aim at a target, maybe not so much, but like try to work on never standing still, especially on Zenyatta, because it's so easy to headshot a Zenyatta when they're standing still. So what are they running? Good charging up the right clicks, but I would be looking to charge up a full 6 orbs. You know, you can charge up, I think the balls show up. Wait till you do it. So you start charging up your shots here, and right, you see these orbs start to pop up, and you'll find that you can get, oh, you got another one here, but you can get a full 6 shots in. Charge up 6, you can only charge 5. I'm pretty sure you can charge 6 if you fully charge your shots. Pretty sure it's 6 shots. Am I dumb? Is it 5, chat? I'm pretty sure it's 6 shots. But charge up your shots fully, because right now you're only firing 3 at these guys. 5th one appears middle top. Is it 5? I'm pretty sure it's 6. I'm pretty sure it's 6 shots. I could be crazy, but that's not the point. Oh, am I wrong? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's 6 shots. I'm pretty sure the maximum is the 6.
Oh God, you love your soul.
Goodness, Ron, what are you?
Thank you, Direxic. I appreciate it so much. Twitch Prime sub, Pog Champ. Thank you so much, bud. Hope you're having a good day. But first thing first, before the enemy team even poke around this corner, let's charge up a full barrage of shots. That way, when they poke their head around this corner, immediately, before they have a time to react, you're going to get 6 shots onto the enemy team. Instant, ult charge, have the potential of picking off a squishy. Remember that 3 headshots, three of these orbs as a headshot onto a target will delete a 200 HP squishy. Lost my 10-month sub streak, rip. No worries, bud. No worries. Just happy to have you here. Really appreciate it. Life gets in the way. No worries, man. We all understand. We all understand. But, so yeah, let's charge up your shots before you start seeing the enemy, before they peek around the corner, and send them somewhere roughly headshot level as they're coming around the corner, and just try and delete people. You'll see that all the time. If you ever watch pro Zenyatta player, they're always charging up their shots. They're always peeking around corners out of nowhere. Ideally, you would be behind your shield here right now, but if you are going to be out in the open like this, at least go be back at the doorway where the corner is, so that you can peek in and out of the corner. And you peek out of the corner and just bam, bop, 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 bop. 6 shots to the dome. That could be an instant pick right at the choke when they come in. Not a huge deal, but I just verified that it is only 5 Zenyatta. Let's go when he has 5 orbs. Okay, well, that's fine. Charge up all 5. Charge up all 5 so that when people do this and they come around this corner, 5 of those shots go to their dome and they can't react. It's too fast. There's no way for them to block it unless they are coming around the corner with a Diva Matrix or a Rhine Shield. Like, there's no way to block that. And then, even better, try to just send them all in one spot. Like, especially at a choke like this, they're all going to be walking past this. You don't really need to track, like, this Roadhog that's walking past here. Just send them straight, and then they're probably going to hit somebody, but try to aim it at those points where people would typically be running around a corner. Like, there's this little ramp going up here. There might be a head here. There's this little point here where people are coming around the corner. Right at that head range. Aim, like, right there. Delete somebody. Dink, dink, that's good. Let's get always be putting your orb on somebody that needs healing. You want to charge up that ultimate charge as fast as you can on Zenyatta. Somebody's getting low in there. Good, you got your orb on someone. Make sure that your Discord orb is always someone. I think it is on someone right now. There, Junkrat. Fantastic. So you may have... So, like, again, it's good that you're... There's 2 kind of, like, play styles on Zenyatta that you need to be aware of. And the first one is constantly throwing orbs in so that you can have that moment of time. Like, you can take your heal orb and you can constantly be putting that back and forth between your teammates and heal them as they need it. That's a good moments for you to be not charging up your shots. But at times like this, where they're at a very nice little choke and your team do have like some sort of retreat and shield to where they can remain relatively safe, let's try charging up shots so that when people peek their heads around, they get all 6 or all 5 of those shots to their face before they even have a time to react, before they, like, compare it to what you're doing right now. You're sending one shot in after another. You're just choom, 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 choom. And maybe you hit 1, maybe you hit 2, but in that moment where you send 1 or you send 2, imagine if it was 5 all at the same time with a Discord orb on top. Whoever it was that poked that you did manage to hit, they're going to get deleted immediately. And like right now, you're not in a desperate situation yet. Your Orisa does go down, but that's kind of on your Ana. She's kind of right here, able to heal her team. She should be healing more. It's not, as a Zenyatta, it's not entirely on you to always be making sure that everyone's healed. You do want to have your healing orb constantly on somebody, but Zenyatta's healing is very low, and it's really more important for you to have your Discord on someone and be dealing out buttloads of damage. And one more note, again, you're very much out in the open. You're fine as far as this choke goes because the shield's here and your tanks are in front of you. But again, higher elo. People like to run Widow on this map. If there was a Widow up on this high ground, you'd be dead. Your Ana would be dead. Either be playing up here in the corner in relative safety, or all the way back there in that doorway where you're at least out of line of sight of the main choke here. Ryan charges in immediately. I would expect a Zen orb on him. Also try to get out of his way because he's looking to charge you, right? Good, you got out the way. Probably would have been better to back up the other side so that you're not on this more vulnerable side of the choke. It's fine, but I know there's not much comms on console, but at this point I would also be yelling at your team, calling out, there's a Reinhardt, you just charged over here, there's Junkrat up here, they need to back up to the point, they need to regroup onto point, something like that. Your Zarya's kind of alone against a Junkrat and a Moria right now. She's gonna die. You got your orb on her. That's good, but now that you're out of line of sight, that orb's about to leave her. Reinhardt's on point. Is that a Torbjorn turret from the enemy team up here? So somehow a Torbjorn managed to wrap around and get up top, which is interesting because you were on this bridge the entire time. At no point did a Torbjorn walk past you. So that means while you were on the bridge, you never saw Torbjorn walk in front of you through the main choke, up the stairs, around to the top. There's another thing. Try to work more on a swivel. When you're especially as playing a support, you want to be constantly aware of your flanks, constantly aware of where your team, the enemy team, is going to be approaching you. You want to be aware of where your team is so that you can assist them, and you want to be aware of where the enemy team is so that you can retreat to your team if need be, go somewhere to get a health pack, call out to your team when some ridiculous flank like this is happening. If you were more aware and saw this Torbjorn running through the main choke, maybe you could have deleted him with a charged up shot real quick, Discord orb, and then he would never have been able to get this turret up here. But things like that. Good, you got Discord on somebody, you got the heal orb on your Junk, who's very deep in the action. Still Torbjorn up here. Okay, this is fun. Did the Torbjorn just yell at you for not focusing on healing? I don't think I've seen a moment where your heal orb this game has not been on someone, and props to you for that. Always keep your orb on someone. Ignore what he said. It's not your fault that he died like an idiot. Oh, you've been... Gold is fun, indeed. You've constantly had a heal orb on someone this entire time. Even now, you still have it on whoever this is up here. So don't worry about that so much. Just focus on doing what you're doing. I was really confused when he yelled that at me for that. For a second, I was like, oh, my bad. Zenyatta does not provide a lot of healing. there's nothing you can do about that. But what he does provide, which is more important when it comes to Zenyatta, is his Discord orb and the damage output that he can put with his orbs. That's pretty funny. I will say you've already lost the fight at this point. There's no way your team's gonna take this fight. That being said, do not use your ultimate. Save that for the follow-up on second point, but you should at least, like, you need to regroup with your team right now, and you need to do it ASAP so that your team doesn't get rolled on the second point. So right now, go in there, go to point, and die on point. Prevent them from capping as long as you can. Bring down the timer as much as you can. Stay alive as long as you can on that point. You being alive over here doesn't really provide your team anything. You're probably going to die in the retreat anyways. Like, the enemy team's like right here on top of you. This Junkrat sees you. If you retreat right now, chances are you're dead. If you go to the point, however, not only will you not stagger yourself as much, but you'll help bring down that timer. And this game is not about getting kills, it's about winning that objective. So try to kill as much time on that timer as you can. Die, regroup with your team so that you don't get rolled on second point. Or are you about to use your ult? I really hope he doesn't. Why would he do that? Yeah, I really hope he doesn't. Okay, they're not engaging you. And that's fine. Your Ana's right here. Takes one shot to heal you to full. Come on now. Okay. Gold, by the way. Okay. You're managing to get out. That's fine. Turn and run. Do not give them a chance to get you. A better team would have. Oh, the lag. I've said this previously, but if you want to rank up in Overwatch, don't play like a gold. Now, I'm not saying you're bad. I'm not saying that anyone's bad. I'm saying it's a mindset. So right now, the enemy team had the chance to pick you off and stagger you in your retreat. A better team would have secured that kill and capped the point at the same time. If you want to rank up in Overwatch, don't give them that opportunity. Don't give them the chance to put your team in a 5v6 scenario for second point. As you rank up more and more, the less mistakes you make like that, the better. It's fine in gold. You got away with it. But as you try to climb, the higher you go, the less mistakes you'll get away with. You see what I'm saying? Try to play with that mindset. As few mistakes as possible. Also, never stand still. Never stand still. You standing still, Widow, like a Widow can hop up onto this high ground and one shot, headshot you, you're dead. Never stand still. And I don't know what your team is doing at this choke. Never hold here. Never hold right here. Go back onto point, especially as Zenyatta, as a healer. You want team's options to kill you right now. Someone with long range damage could just sit up on top of here, or just, you know, anywhere over here on the ground. Somebody could be up there. Somebody could flank here. Somebody can flank over there. I definitely didn't want to hold here, but since my team was there, I hung around. Okay. Don't make... Same thing with that... that thing I said a second ago, don't play like a gold. Just because they're making those mistakes doesn't mean you need to make those mistakes. You don't want to hold here, and as a Zenyatta especially, you can still support them in their fights from a long ways away without risking yourself. You could also call into the comms, hey, back up, back up, back up. This is a bad place to hold. You don't have to be around your team. I'll leave it to WAP. Yep. Well, one thing you can do. Okay, I shouldn't bring this up because this is something at a higher level Zenyatta would do that, you know, wouldn't make the mistake, but a higher level Zen, knowing that he has his ultimate, knows that he could be a little bit more aggressive and maybe find some other sight line and then get a pick off and then retreat to his team. But I wouldn't be even bothering with that right now. Right now, you need to focus on making as few mistakes as possible. You never want to die. I don't want to ever see you die. That's your goal, is to never die. Also, I don't know about console. I don't know if there's a button to request healing, but if you can, press your request healing button so that you at least get that little bit more that little bit more heals from your Ana, or at least like go get the mini that's right there. Be aware of where the minis and the megas are on the map. Go get it. Yes, there is. Okay, good. Use it. Use the voice comms if you have to. Go get the mini if you have to. Get that little bit of extra HP. The difference in you having that little bit of extra HP is the difference between a Widowmaker one-shotting you with a body shot. You just can't tell people to attack the objective. Oh, you can request healing on console. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's fine. You don't really need to tell people to attack the objective on PC either. I'm not really sure why that's even an option. But that little bit of HP is the difference between you dying to a body shot on Zenyatta. So you want to be at full HP every chance you get. Good. We're backing up. Your Zarya is still overextended. I'm glad you still have the orb on her. You got a Discord on someone. That's good. Dude, that's Zarya needs to back up. Right now, especially with your comp, with your Orisa, y'all want to be holding at this choke right. Yeah. You put your shield kind of like right here, right? And then you guys can rotate around these pillars according to how the enemy team are pushing, whether it be over here, whether it be over here, whether they're just coming down main and maybe someone on the high ground. You wanna be constantly peeking in and around this pillar. That would be ideal for you. Oof, you didn't have to take that. You didn't have to take that shot, that fire strike to the face. You saw it coming. You could have got out the way. And now you really need healing. Now you're full HP. That's good. Another fire strike, and I'm assuming this is a Moria orb. I'm assuming. Try to avoid those. Torbjorn gets healing. I hope you put an orb on Ana. That's good. You put it on Orisa. I would, with the HP difference between Ana and Orisa, like I said previously, Ana will get body shot by a Widow and die. Orisa will not. Heal her first. Oh, your Ana even went for the Mega, which means in this interim of her going for the Mega to heal herself, she's not healing your team. So also, there's a fucking Reinhardt right there that nobody scouted. He went the long way around. He's under there, and your Ana is engaging on this Reinhardt alone. You need to assist her. What the fuck is this Reinhardt doing? If he kills your Ana, that's terrible. And your Zarya's there too. Zarya's dead. Ana does retreat around the other way. Is there... Can I get the quality up here? Oh, unfortunate. You just can't... Oh, rereading that. Yikes, the Zarya... Yeah, the Zarya's positioning on your team is just horrendous. I like that you are trying to spend most of the time way in the back, trying to keep the line of sight on your team. I would like it if you tried to keep line of sight on the enemy team as well. It's really important as a support to be aware of the enemy team and your team. So like, stand behind the shield, go in and out around this pillar, so that you can watch those flanks without putting yourself at risk. Like right now, if somebody were to flank right, you can't see it. If somebody were to come down main, you only see it if they're already on the bridge. If somebody comes this side, you don't see that either unless they jump in some weird fashion, like a Genji jumps up over this wall. You don't see anybody standing here. That being said, if a Widowmaker pops up on this little high ground that's right over here, headshot you. And then you also know that Zarya's dead, so I would want to be calling that there's still a Reinhardt alive down here. I didn't see him die in the kill feed, but hey, Wambacha, how do you clean your keyboard? I have the same you do. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't cleaned it yet since I bought it. That being said, I'm not like most people. I don't eat in my PC area. I don't eat here. I drink coffee. Occasionally I'll lean over to this other side of the desk and maybe take a bite of something there. But I refuse to eat here or do anything here because I know how I know how things go when you start spilling shit on your keyboard. I've done that before, ruined my old keyboard. Spilling some bowl of ramen onto my keyboard. Oh, good times. Also, just the act of eating in front of your keyboard in general, you get little residual bits of things that fly onto your keyboard that you don't intend to be there, and but those little tiny bits build up over time, and your keyboard starts to get really fucking disgusting, and I hate that. Like, at most, I just have dust on my keyboard, which I can wipe off with a cloth. So, but I don't know, I could just be an idiot trying to fix an idiot's mistakes. Wait, what? Just because it's gold, to be honest, I would have played in a position to save the Zarya since he had trans. I wouldn't have wasted the trans. Nah. Save the transfer when your team actually needs it. It was just Reinhardt down here, and the rest of your team are right here. Zarya will respawn in a couple seconds, and she's gonna be right behind you. Don't even bother. Let her die. Let her die. The enemy team aren't pushing in right now. I think they're afraid of the Junkrat spam. Like, they're not pushing in. No need to waste your trans on a single Zarya. Don't you get skin flakes in it? It bothers me so much when I see that. You mean dust, right? That's what dust is skin flakes and hair follicles, and that's what dust is. For those of you that don't know, chat, dust is, skin particles of animals, humans, bugs, little bits of things that break off of other things. That's what dust is. There is dust, but skin flakes are much lighter. Yeah. Well, microfiber cloth should solve all your problems. This keyboard actually came with a tool to remove the keys, if I remember right. Yeah, because I had to put on these the special keys for the WASD keys. You can remove your keys, unplug your keyboard, remove your keys, wipe it down with a microfiber cloth. Do that. I haven't done it yet, but mine's also not that dusty, and I've kind of gone in between while the PC was off, here and there. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to give you shit about tracking because this is gold, but let's work on that. You mean a keycap puller or a dedicated key switch puller? The keycap puller. Just pull the caps. You don't need to get under the switches. Just pull the caps, wipe it down with a microfiber cloth. Or if you got one of those air cans, those, like, I don't like using those air cans. They're just fucking expensive and they don't do anything that you can't do yourself with, like, low power vacuum or something. But if you got one of those air cans, you just blow it between the keys. I hate those things. They're just a waste of money, but I don't know. I get them free sometimes with PC parts and whatnot. I don't know. But anyways, back to the VOD. I like that you charge up your shot. I want you to charge up more shots. I want you to do it, charge up all of the shots. Wait until you see that circle in the center. That's when you've charged up all your shots. Wait till you charge up all your shots and be peeking in and out of this corner, sending them a volley of shots into targets. If you had charged up your shot fully, you probably, like, the diva might have still flown up here, but you could have waited until she dropped onto the ground and then put all of the shots into her. That, or maybe you delete somebody coming down the main choke. Bomb comes out. You got shattered. I'm assuming by the Reinhardt that's still down here by the Mega. You're dead. He missed his charge. He tried to charge you. He missed his charge. And bounced you over here, which actually saves you from the bomb. Your wrist is dead, though. And there's the entire enemy team in your face. At this point, maybe throw a Discord orb and a couple orbs at Diva, but I would... Your team's dead, so you need to stall for time. Back up into this room behind you. Back up here, skirt around to the other side, force them to chase you off of the point. And if you start to get, well, if they start doing any damage to you, you're already at 100 HP, so if they start doing any damage to you, pop your ultimate and stall the point as long as you can. You gotta kill 5 minutes, 38 seconds. You need to stay alive. You don't need to get kills. There's no one here that you can kill easily anyways. Stay alive. Retreat. It's okay to give them a tick. It's okay to give them 2 ticks, as long as your team have the time to get back and stall. You're not in overtime, so they don't get bad timers. You need to just stay alive, give up some pointage, and then get onto the point at the last second so that your team can regroup on the point. Your Ana's right there. Don't go out there. Don't go out there. Okay, this is fine because your team managed to come onto the point in time. I think I don't know where Ana went. She was like right here. She's dead. You trans. You probably wouldn't have had to trans if you backed up into this room. Grab comes out. Looks like Zarya got nanoed. This could actually be huge. You didn't need this trans, but that being said, now that you do have it, you need to assist whoever is alive on your team in being as aggressive as possible and getting as many kills as possible. Not only is Zarya taking a damage reduction from Nano, she's getting like infinite healing by Zenyatta. So you want to make sure that your team is doing as much as possible right now, because chances are they're not going to die right now unless Diva Bomb comes out, but they just used Diva Bomb, so... Good. One thing to note, when you're coming out of your ultimate here, your Zen ult, always try to figure out where's a good spot that you could end that ultimate. You move really fast in Zen ult, and you don't want to come out of it in the center of the enemy team, and as you can see, there's like 2 people here in front of you. There's like 1 person to your right. Not a good spot for you to be in. You are full HP, but okay. Vivi's out of mech. Torbjorn's here. It's probably oh, okay, that's good. Ryan's still alive, 1 point. Good. Okay, this is like this right here. This is where I want you to play. Always like maybe a little bit closer to the pillar so that you have less, you know, line of sight. But you, as a Zenyatta, you work very effectively, kind of like a widow. You could take full advantage of this long sightline. Wait, you're 4.1? Oh my god. You must have climbed so much. Last season. Sure. Yeah, why not? What's happening, friend? But take advantage of those long sightlines and just deal out as much damage as you can. Now that you've used your ultimate, you want to build this one up as fast as you can so that you have another for the next fight. You guys still got to kill, you know, a good 5 minutes. This is good. That's what I want you to do right there. Keep charging up those shots, peek in and out of that corner. Try to get picks. There goes your Orisa. Now that they've all pushed on to the point, I'm okay with you coming back here and playing this kind of corner. That being said, you want to build this ult up as fast as you can because you're probably going to have to trans into the point to keep your team alive. Reactive trans to keep yourself alive. Not the best. Probably would have saved that. Probably would have saved that. You only took 1 tire or one bomb, and you're fine. Well, actually, you took the mine from Junkrat and booped you up in the air. Not the best use of trans. Ooh, the lag that you experienced, that's rough. See, this would have been a much better fight for you to use your trans. I mean, you don't need it now. Everybody's going down here. Your team are winning this fight, but could have gone in, healed people up in the middle of this fight, kept them safe from the molten core. 4.1 isn't amazing, but it's dev good. Now I actually need to find time to grind so I can get there too. XD, sub direct. Ooh, that lag. I want to see you get an orb on this person ASAP. Don't. You realize with your lag and you standing that close to the Orisa shield, like right in front of you, I wouldn't have taken that. Don't take that risk. Try to stay behind the shield. You don't need to be. It doesn't need to be touching the fucking the follicles on your face, you know. especially with the lag going on. If you had lagged in front of the shield, you're dead, you know. Holy. Okay, this is good. Get Div out of mech. You got your ult again. That's fantastic. You need heals. You don't need to be on top of Reinhardt right now. You need to be backing up and then spamming your I need healing so that Ana can heal you up. Not as rich as top 3, but here's 20 cents. Appreciated, Brit. Love you, bud. Thank you so much. All your team are full health, and the enemy team are just now pushing in. I'm okay that you are staying alive with this, but like this didn't have to happen. You didn't have to waste your trans like this. You could have just backed up and had Anna heal you. Even if you had died, it would have been better if you respawned and came back onto point with trans to stall. But like this usage, not the best. That being said, now that you have used it, turn on that microphone and yell at your team, go aggressive, go, go, go! Take advantage of this wasted ultimate and delete the enemy team, because this right now you're invulnerable pretty much. My idea was to push. Well, if that's your idea, you need to find a way to vocalize that to your team, because they're not going to understand, and they're not gonna. They can't read your mind. They don't know. They don't know what's going on. You need to. Shadowhawk. I've seen that name before. You need to. your team needs to know that is your plan, so that they can follow up on the plan. Because you can't do anything in trans. You're just making sure everybody stays alive. If you're gonna make a play like this, you best have a microphone on, and you best be telling your team, go, go, go. I mean, true. If I want to lead, I need to talk. Exactly. Otherwise, don't try to make plays like that. Because, I mean, all you ended up doing is just transing in front of a Reinhardt who couldn't do anything to you anyways. You're invulnerable. He loses his shield, which is great. Your team's going to follow up on this kill probably, but also keep in mind, so you got your Transcendence, which is like, there's your radius, something like that. I mean, maybe it's a little bit bigger, but you got your Transcendence. Transcendence doesn't stop damage. If Reinhardt throws a fire strike at somebody, that damage will go through and hit that person. If a Widow does a headshot from the high ground, trans doesn't stop that damage. It's not like a big invulnerable shield that blocks everything, right? Who's pinging me? Oh, okay. Get back to that. But trans doesn't stop damage. So you're right now, you're not doing anything with your trans other than telling Reinhardt, do you have the balls to charge me right now? Which he could do. Well, you can use it to block non-piercing projectiles. I mean, with your body, sure. With your body, but it's not like Diva Matrix. It doesn't cancel damage. If you want to take advantage of the Transcendence, you need to be with your team. Otherwise, they're not getting that healing. Granted, they need to push up and take advantage of it. But that, again, that's the communication thing. You need to have told them, be aggressive. You can't fucking die right now. Go, go, go. Well, even the sounds are lagging. Good. Charging up shots. Kind of like shooting a wall here when you could have been shooting the Diva, but okay. I think there's a Torbjorn turret behind you shooting you in the back. And a Torbjorn. So let's work on your awareness. Helps that you see the red beams shooting past you. Also, if you, I assume you play with the headset, most people do. If you have surround sound on your headset, turn it around, or turn it on. It'll help you hear this Torbjorn behind you. If you are using stereo, maybe use the Adobe Atmos, whatever the fuck it's called, that is built into Overwatch, the 5.1 surround sound thing. It's emulation, but it'll still make it a little bit easier for you to hear things behind you. Orisa got the turret. Tyre kills your Orisa and your Ana. You're taking a 1v1 with this Torbjorn right now. You're winning it, but your team's dead. They're capping the point. This isn't good. You can't engage on this point alone, and you could give up a tick. So what I would do is maybe hide around this corner for a bit, and then you need to get onto the point. I don't know. At this point, this is a lost fight. Oh, this is a lost fight at this point. This is not great. Tyre did a lot. Like right now, you need to go to point. You don't really have a choice. You're probably gonna die, but you have to. There it goes. I didn't see what did we get the time down to? Okay. Well, you managed to kill 3 minutes, so considering that it was a 6-minute hold on second point, not bad. Not bad. It's pretty typical of 2CP. As you get higher and higher up the ladder, 2CP games can go like 8 and 8. So you know, not a big deal. You just mute your mic? You just muted your mic. Why'd you mute your mic? Or did you? No, you muted your mic.
Never stop fighting for what you believe in.
You trying to mute the people on your team? I'm not sure what you're trying to do. You're on Ana now. Okay, cool. My mic was muted, but it was showing up as if sound was coming through. Huh, okay. I don't know. PS4 bugs, I guess. Okay. We're not gonna worry about it. So, Diva Hammond, Torbjorn, Reaper Brig, Ana. Wow. What a comp. What a comp. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this comp. I think we all already know that this is a terrible comp. We're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna Admiral Macho the Torb said something passive aggressive right after I muted myself, and I was going to ask what he said. Oh, don't worry about it. This comp is a meme. It is indeed. Womp, can you watch one of my boss VODs? Yes, I'd be happy to watch one of your VODs, bud. Hell yeah. Okay, so we're not going to bother worrying about how bad this comp is. What we're going to do instead is worry about how you can make this comp work. You can't force your team to do anything. It's all on them to do whatever they're doing. You can't educate people mid-game on how to be good at the game. You probably could call for switches over the comms, but chances of people switching are low, so don't worry about it. Instead, let's focus on what you can do to make this work. You need to stay with your Brig. Brig will keep you alive. If they dive on you, Brig is what keeps you alive. Stay with your Brig at all times. What we got here is like we got some sort of dive thing going on element here. We got Diva and Hammond. Hammond can go in, displace the enemy team. Diva follows up on kills. You don't have a dive DPS to go with them, so maybe better to play counter divey. But with the Hammond, it doesn't really make for counter dive play. You have a Torbjorn. If your Torbjorn stays with you and Brig, it'll keep you three alive. That's like his turret will help with flanks, right? You could even play on his turret so that you have that extra bit of protection when somebody decides to dive you. Reaper's just going to be like off doing his own thing. I would try nanoing him, either him or Diva or Brig, which can be pretty fucking invulnerable when you nano. Reaper is a dive hero. No. No. Shit. You don't even run Reaper in this meta. Reaper is just a bad pick. You can make it work, but it's not the best. If you're gonna run a Reaper right now in this meta, especially in comp, just expect the Reaper to sort of play alone and then just try to assist him in keeping him alive when he does make weird plays. At Almancho, I know, it was a meme from when Silver was telling Jane he was wrong and that Reaper is dive hero. A Silver telling Jane he was wrong. A professional OWL coach. Nice. Woo! Okay. 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 But, yeah. So, back to focusing on what you can do. You can play with your Brig. You can play with your Torb and your Diva, and try to stay alive as long as you can. Try to nano one of these 3 targets to maximize their damage, maybe even restore them if they're getting low on health. That's really all you can do with this comp. Try to make it work. Also, I have no idea how you have gold healing when you were playing Zenyatta. Your Ana wasn't healing at all. My aiming just gets worse from here. Okay, well, keep in mind you're also playing Ana, which is a skill hero. It is easier to play Ana in this meta because she did get some nice buffs, but if you're not confident in your healing on Ana because you're not hitting your shots, then maybe switch over to like a Moria or a Mercy or, you know, something like that. Mercy not being as strong, Moria probably better, but you have kind of like dive tanks, so you need something that can assist them from either range or something that can sort of evade damage kind of thing. Did Womp ever read what I said? My stream had cut out. Yeah, no, I did, Direxic. I'd be happy to look at your VOD. What's happening, Jackie? How you, bud? Which is why I picked... Oh, my goal is to get better at Ana and Zen, which is why I picked Ana. Okay. That's reasonable. Totally reasonable. If you just want to get better at Ana, the best way to do it is to play her, so that's reasonable. Okay. They have a Pharah. I don't know what your team are doing here. They're just kind of like wandering around. Oh no, they got a Pharaoh. What do we do? Okay. What you could do. It's hard for Pharaoh to get some shots in here, especially when she's flying way up here. If she was flying over by the choke, she could put some direct damage onto you, but it's a little bit more difficult. Her being right above you. Maybe go out the other door and just try and put some shots into her. You don't have anybody else on your team other than Diva that can really deal with the Pharah. So in this scenario, you are the hit scan, and it is your job to deal with it until someone on your team switches. Console, ooh, yeah, it's console, but it's not a big deal. What? Where'd that fucking shot come from? The shot came from here. What? Where's the What? Hang on. Is this just lag? Oh, it's above. What? 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 Did she somehow go from above you to all the way over there without showing up on your screen? What the fuck? The most terrifying thing that has ever been said to me. You are the hit scan. Well, you don't really have the choice. Because you don't have hit scan on your team and you're Ada. You still need to heal your team, but... So think of it this way. You don't have to kill Farah. One of the most important resources in this game is, in fact, the attention of the enemy. If you can demand her attention and force her to just retreat to safety, then that's you getting value for your team. So you don't even have to you don't even have to land 3 shots on her and kill her. Shoot her once so that suddenly she's like, oh my god, someone's shooting me. I need to back up behind cover and get heals. Oh god. Shoot her once. She backs up. Your team is a little safer for the moment. You could heal up your team. You can move up. And then rinse and repeat. Demand her attention. Demand that she retreats for healing so that your team gets the space they need to move up. You know what I mean? I have no idea what the fuck is going on with that Farah. Farah's invisible. Duh. Yeah. I don't know. I can't fucking see her. Is she on the ground now? Like behind the diva? What the fuck? She's like on their little platform area here or something. Somehow she went from being like above you to like over there. I don't understand. Whatever. This is not a place I ever want to see you standing. Remember, they got like a shield. You do not. If they have a Widowmaker, you're dead. Start thinking like that. Work on thinking like that. Even if they don't have one, you need to start thinking like that, because when you graduate up the ranks, right? You can't make these mistakes as you go higher up. If they have a Widow, if they have a McCree, if they have a Hanzo, if they have a Zenyatta, if they have a Torbjorn, if they have anything with a projectile that can hit you in the dome, and you're in a position where only your dome is visible, they're going to hit you in the dome. So don't risk it. Instead, go over here. Go to the side where they can't see you, right? Play out of the line of sight and be in a place where you can just pump healing into your team while they move through choke, or move through choke with them while pumping healing into them. Granted, this is gold, so it's going to be difficult for your team to push in. I mean, they're not taking advantage of these sight lines, but be aware that you won't get away with this in a higher rank. Good that you can kill the turret, though. There goes Reaper. So here's the Farah. And she's got a Mercy, too, so that's even worse. That's terrible for your team, because you don't have anything that can deal with that. Best you can do is pump a couple shots into Farah and hope that she backs up, even though she has a Mercy on her. Heal your diva. Aww. Work on not reloading after every shot. It's like, look at this. You take a shot, and then you're at 13 out of 14. And you reload. I mean, due to the situation, you're in relative safety, so it's not that big of a deal. But if you're always constantly reloading, if a fight happens upon you, gets thrust upon you that you were not expecting, and you're busy reloading instead of having your ammo available, you know what I mean? Or like if you're doing it in the middle of a team fight, you're reloading your gun when you're only one shot down. That's the difference between your team getting healed and not. Okay, keeping Brig up. Probably didn't need your nade for that, but it's fine. I like that you're with your Brig. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing. You're just kind of like standing in a tiny little room. You remember this, you're in this tiny little room with the door right here and a door right here, and he's just gonna spam inside and you guys are just gonna die. You never want to be in a tiny little room with the Junkrat, because those bombs are gonna hit you and kill you. I've never heard that noise come out of Monk S. I don't know what noise you're referring to. Like, I don't know what your Brig's doing right now. She's not going to kill the Torb, especially not low health. I mean, you could probably pump healing into her, and then maybe she can get close enough, and he's an idiot. But... oh, the lag. Oh, the lag. Yeah, like, look at this. He's got his ult now, because he's been farming you guys. You're healing each other, which is great, but... or at least you're healing her, which is great, but... that Junkrat's getting his ultimate ability off of just you healers. Sleep it. Oh, if you didn't hesitate. If you didn't hesitate, maybe the shield wouldn't have gone up in time and you got that sleep. Good. You're still dead, but good. Ooh, this is rough.
This is much better.
You're standing in spawn right now, alive and doing nothing. Keep that in mind.
Man on the beach.
And the clock is ticking down. You've got Nano. You've got Nano. You need to be looking to see, are Overwatch servers down? I don't know. I'm not playing them. You tell me. How you doing, Obum? What's happening? I don't know. Are they? Are they doing maintenance or something? I have no idea. I'm doing a VOD review right now, so we're just looking at YouTube. But what was I saying? You've got Nano. You need to start thinking about who you're going to Nano. Oh, you got a Widow. Dealt with the Pharah. Fantastic. So there's one issue dealt with. Probably going to get rezzed by the Mercy, but you need to be thinking about who you're going to Nano. You need to be vocalizing to your team that we need to be a little more grouped up, a little bit more organized. They're just kind of like one-off doing their own thing. And Tifa's still at the choke. Widow's up top. She did get the Pharah, that's good. But Widow got the Mercy. Your Widow's carrying right now. PogChamp. So, from this range, do you think that you need to scope in? Probably not. Just not a big deal, but awareness thing. While you're scoped in, Ana kind of like crouches over, right? She kind of like crouches over and her head gets a little bit more exposed in front. And you're kind of like standing at a corner, like out in the open. Very easy to headshot a scoped in Ana. And your diva's right in front of you. You really don't need to scope this in. Just something to think about. Here comes the tire. You need to hide. Okay. Widow carrying. It also makes it super obvious to the enemy where you are if you scoped in. Yeah, I didn't mention that. But people usually aren't as aware in gold. But when you're... So think about this. When you're scoped in, every shot that you make makes this big blue line. When you're not scoped in, there is no blue line. Enemy team will see that, and they'll be aware of where you're positioned. So you scoping in and shooting this diva shows the enemy team your position, which means they can dive on you. Not a big issue because you're on the other side of the choke, and the enemy team really should never push outside of this choke. But But yeah, keep that in mind that it reveals your positioning when you scope in. So try to not scope in unless you have to. Unless they're like really far away. Like, think about it this way. Diva's right in front of you. You don't need to scope that. If Diva was way over here, yeah, you probably should scope that in, make it a little bit easier to shoot that. Becomes more important the higher up you go, though. Yes, it does. You really gotta understand when to scope and when not to scope. All right, your team get some kills here. Sleep that, fantastic. Heal your team. Farah's back. You're gonna want to help put some shots into that. Your team's full health right now, so. Oh. We do need to work on your aim here, but I mean that'll come with time. Oof. That there's 3 different shots there that should have killed her, but you missed the shot. So we do need to work on your aim. Also, I don't know where that nade was going, but it definitely didn't hit the Rhine. It went right past him. If you're trying to hit somebody and they're right in front of you, just hit the ground right in front of them. It's gonna splash. It's gonna hit them and anybody around them. So if you're trying to nade this Rhine, don't throw it directly at his head. Throw it at his feet, because then it won't miss. Unless he throws up a shield. This fight should have already been won by your team. You should have already capped this point. Oh, good. You used your nano. Good. I have a feeling you guys are still going to lose this fight. They got Junkrat, they got Mercy, they got Reinhardt. Probably could have saved that for the next engagement, because it took too long for you guys to finish the pharmacy, and as a result, the enemy team have come in. It's now 3v2. You're one of the 2. Nano boosting Hammond, really probably not the play here. He's probably just going to die anyways. Maybe get stuck in a Junkrat trap. Or just retreat. You do manage to get the junk. Your Reaper ults. I didn't see the Reaper. I don't know where he ulted from. If he gets the Mercy here, that's huge. He gets the Mercy. Ryan charges him. Now the fight's winnable. Kill the Rhine. See the Bastion. Immediately sleep the Bastion. You need to be confident that you can hit those sleep shots. If you have to, go do a go find a custom lobby and join a Ana paintball lobby, right? Go play in an Ana paintball lobby and practice your aim. Do it every day before you go to play comp. Do that and you'll see some improvement in your aim and your sleeps, and you'll be confident with those shots. Good nade, kill the Rhine. The Bastion backs up. You see the Farah coming back. You almost slept her, and maybe if you didn't lag, then maybe you would have. I'm fine with that sleep, only because you guys kept the point. I'm not sure why you went to the mini. You're full health. You also have a Brig right next to you. You also could have finished healing the Widow. You only shot her once. She's probably not at full health. I don't know what you're nading there. Sleep the Rhine, sleep the Rhine, sleep the Rhine. Sleep the Rhine, sleep the Rhine. There you go. He gets double stunned, he dies. Now your team should push in. You have the advantage. 5 of you alive versus their, I don't know, 2 at this point. A couple of them may be coming back from spawns. I hear Bastion alive. Pharmacy is up. You're still up. You guys should be pushing in hard. I will be honest, not fully healing the Widow was me being petty. Well, I understand that. But if your goal is to get better, you can't be petty. You can't tilt. You can't blame your team. All you can do is focus on making as few mistakes as possible. You got to keep in mind that you can't win every game. There's always a chance that the enemy team is just better than your team, and you can't force your team to win. What you can do is communicate and organize your team, work together, and call targets, you know, try to keep track of ultimates and comboing ultimates and things. You can try those things, but the best thing for you to do is to focus on making as few mistakes as possible. It's really all you can do. It was a moment of weakness on my part. Understandable. Understandable. But that being said, your Widow carried the last fight. I want you to keep that in mind. Or, I mean, it looks like she died at some point in the fight, but she did get 3 picks going into that fight. That took forever, but she did get picks. She's effectively done more than you right now, because you've done very little healing into your team. What was it? I actually said this I said this yesterday. We were memeing in my scrims, but I said this yesterday in our scrims. Sky was making a joke about him carrying on Widow XD, and I said something along the lines of tanks enable your DPS, your healers enable your tanks. If you... Hi, Wampo. Hey, Lirip! How you doing, Lirip? Long time no see. But it is your job as a support to enable your team. You and your tanks, right, need to enable your DPS like your Widow. Tanks create space. They demand the attention of the enemy team. Supports keep the tanks alive. They keep the DPS alive. You're all enabling each other so that your DPS can get the kills, right? That's the idea here. You talk to Womp more than me. Feels weird, man. Wow. There's a trap right in front of you. Do not stand on that trap. So, also, let's look at this fight. There's someone low here on the left in the back. You're shooting, you got one shot into D.Va. Now you're just shooting the shield, shooting the shield, shooting the shield. Naded the shield for some reason. I think you tried to hit like over on this statue behind him, which is fine, but probably not the best use of nade because he still has his shield. And your team really aren't pushing onto him. I'm fine with you wailing into his shield and just breaking his shield, but in the meantime, you got people dying over here. Glad you got the trap. This is probably a lost fight though, because your team is very split up. Hammond's doing his own thing. All of the enemy team is back now. That's a shame too, because you went into this fight and they were down 3. They staggered on first point. You guys took too long to get to second point, and but you did manage to get 3 picks going to second point, but you guys took too long to actually go to the point, and now they're all back. So good. Good pick. Back up, because they still have spawn advantage and most of their people are still alive, whereas yours are not. Do definitely farm your nano though. Holy lag. Oof. Okay. Look at the situation. Keeping in mind that this wasn't a one fight really. Look at this bomb. She throws the bomb. Reinhardt turns his shield to you. This is actually a play you see a lot in higher tiers. They throw the bomb. You have your sleep on cooldown. Sleep the Reinhardt. He dies to bomb. Anyone in range of the bomb dies to bomb. He turns his shield to you. Sleep that bitch. He's a huge target. Very easy to sleep. Sleep him. He dies to the bomb. Your team could push in. Instead, you throw an aid, you start shooting him a little bit. He doesn't even bother rotating his shield because it's not enough damage to matter, but sleep that bish. He would have died to that bomb if you had. You do manage to sleep the Bastion. Looked like? Okay, yeah, you got the Bastion. Okay. Your team got another pick on the Bastion. Your team are re-engaging. This would be a good time to nano somebody. Probably your Diva, because I think she just took a bunch of damage. I could be wrong. That or your Brig that's right there. Yeah. Nano Diva. Right now, nano that bitch. Okay, you nanoed the Brig. That's fine, because Brig is a great nano target, surprisingly. But you could have kept your Diva in her mech had you nanoed Diva. So, unfortunate. You also probably could have canceled this. Actually, it's probably too late. I don't know. Let's look up. Starts the res. Yeah, it's too late. If he had rotated his shield sooner, I would have said, you don't even have it on cooldown, but like do something about the mercy so that the res can't get off. But it's fine. You couldn't really do anything. Two people right here. Nade on cooldown. Nade. Good. It happened. It was laggy, but it looks like you did it. Good. The Mercy died. The Ryan died. Oh man, the lag is unreal. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That was just some you're just getting some unreal lag here.
Much better.
Unfortunate. Oof.
Just a scratch, you'll be fine.
Question. Are you playing on... Is your console playing... Does it have wireless? Are you working with wireless or are you working with Ethernet? If you have the option, connect it to Ethernet so that you don't have... I don't know. Maybe your wireless is the issue. Maybe it's just the network. I don't know. If you can connect it to Ethernet, try. It might just be bad connection to the servers, though, so I don't really know. Because if you can do something about this lag, it'll really help you out. Console and wireless. Forehead. Yup.
My team still needs me.
I kind of ignored the end of that fight there. That's fine. You've got 2 minutes on the clock. They have 2 minutes 40. You need to make a good push right here.
I have your back.
Okay, your team's actually like grouped up and you could have thrown your nade. Just pointing that out. Don't blame me. I try my best. I cry every day. I'm just happy that you're actively trying to get better. Fight's over. Reset. Good sleep on the Rhine. Don't wake them up. At least the enemy team are using ultimates. They're wasting a lot of ults. This is unfortunate. Nice pick.
Someday, Ryan, but not today. That's my position.
I got res though. Hang on. Winston's over here. He says hi to the enemy. And just stands there. What can you do? It's gold. But...
Enemy turn.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just assume that you guys don't cap this point here.
Take your medicine.
Mind you, this is the same dude that Shat, Obi, me for not healing enough, and then he throws shat on me. Oh. No need to worry about that. When people are like that, you just mute them and then move on. Don't stand on that. Throwing your nade at its shield, not the best idea. If you threw it at your own feet, you probably survive here, but I'm pretty sure you die. Ooh, 8 health.
Don't worry, I got it.
Awareness. You could have just stayed around the corner here, and your nade was about to come off of cooldown. Just throw it at the wall right in front of you, and then you would have been fine.
Old soldiers are hard to kill.
Oof. You should be quick scoping a lot of these shots as soon as the outline of the scope shows a shot. I don't think we should even get into quick scoping on Ana just yet. I wouldn't worry about that yet, KILLOIS. You got a bunch of other things you need to work on first before you start trying to master quick scoping as Ana. I'm never very good at quick scoping. Don't even bother worrying about it right now. You need to first figure out when you should be scoping in versus not scoping in. We got some basics that we need to work on before we even get into some of techs like quick scoping. We gotta hit some shots. And I mean, this is a hero that you're working on, so it's fine. We do need to work on accuracy, though. It's gonna be game there, I think. You can't sleep a turret. Is that tire gonna come kill you here? Probably not. Turret's still there, by the way. So, yeah. Okay, let's try and come out of this with some things to work on. Things to work on. Let's start with Zen. With Zen, positioning. Try to charge up all your shots. Always keep Zen orb on someone. Always keep healing orb on someone, which you did a good job of that. Down in gold. Okay, think of it this way. Try to be a commander of fights. It's weird, but try to think of it this way. As Zenyatta, you can act like God. You can stay way back, and what you want to be doing is you want to try and have line of sight on the enemy team and your team. And you take a moment and you look at the two teams and you look for who's fighting. You'll have let's say you have like a soldier fighting a Hanzo off in the distance, right? They're both in your line of sight, and they're having their own little solo fight. Work on assisting them in their fight, right? You are God in this scenario. You could throw a healing orb on your soldier and a Discord orb on the Hanzo. And not only that, you can throw a couple orbs their way and, try and help your guy out, right? Try and work on positioning yourself in a way that you can assist in these little 1v1 duels. And then on top of that, try to peek corners. So like I said many times, especially on that second point, Temple of Anubis, you had a big pillar, and you could be playing right here on the pillar. Rissa shield right here, right? So ideally more covering the corner a little bit. And you can just peek in and out of this corner repeatedly. Charge your right click, throw him down main. Hopefully, it doesn't even matter if you kill anybody. The chance that you will is high because it's a tiny little choke. They're all going to start funneling through this choke. If you aim somewhat headshot level, and send a volley of shots at them, chances are eventually some of that spam is going to delete a squishy, right? Always be trying to Discord someone that's engaging someone else on your team, like the God thing, trying to be God and help assist your pawn in this fight. So yeah, there's some things for Zen. Charge up your shots. Be a Zen God. Oh, also, try not to waste your ultimates just to keep yourself alive. Especially when you have 5 people alive on your team and the enemy team's not engaging and all of your team is full health. Just because you got low, probably not the best use for your ultimate. Probably best just to die and respawn. Come back with that ultimate available for that time of need, you know? So there's some things for Zen. For Ana, we need to get your accuracy up. Go play some Ana paintball in custom games. I'm pretty sure custom games are on console, right? Go play some Ana paintball. Go work on that accuracy. Practice it every day before you go into comp. Be confident in your sleeps. Try and hit your sleeps. Start thinking about people that you want to work with on your team. Like you had a brig to help keep you. Like, you had a brig on your team. You want to like hug that brig all the way through the fights because she's going to be the one keeping you alive in the middle of a fight. Think about who you're going to nano. Lots of little things to work on. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. All I have for that. If you've got any questions, let me know. Happy to assist.